Welcome to a brand new segment I like to call Omegawott stands in front of a chalkboard and explains why one anthropomorphic blue hedgehog is better than the other anthropomorphic blue hedgehog. Rest assured, I know exactly what I'm talking about. I have 12 PhDs, and they all stand for professional hedgehog design. Also, I actually do have some light personal experience in character design, if that means anything. Alright, let's get started. First of all, the overall body shape has been completely redone, doing away with any resemblance to human anatomy, now with a bean-shaped body, skinny arms and legs, and large hands and feet. These new proportions allow much more dynamic poses and body language, which is very important when it comes to Sonic and his overall style and attitude. Along with this, his face has also been completely redone. His mouth is a lot wider and his eyes are much bigger, allowing more dynamic movements, and of course looking much more like the Sonic we already know and love. His facial animations are now incredibly expressive, an area in which the old design especially faltered. The amount of personality this design radiates at all times is so nice, now being able to go from adorable to badass in a split second. You can see they tried really hard to make his face cute, readable, recognizable, and again, expressive. Just watching this character do stuff is fun. They knocked it out of the park with communicating this character. As previously stated, he has his gloves back, with some really nice extra detail actually. You could see the seams of the fabric as well as this really nice looking fuzzy texture. You could tell they really wanted to get his hands right this time, and so they did. His shoes have also been updated, now a more modern take on his classic red shoes, with the white stripe and baggy socks intact. I did some research, turns out these shoes are real products that existed way before the movie did. They are Puma Woman's Dare trainers, and they just so happen to look like Sonic shoes when colored red. Why they didn't go with these in the first place is beyond me, but, you know. That could be said about most of this. His size wasn't altered at all as far as I can tell, but it looks much more natural with the new look, so it didn't really need to change. It's the only thing that didn't change, really. Another thing that I really appreciate about this design is even though he now looks much more like the Sonic we already know, he seems noticeably more childlike than usual. His overall proportions and facial expressions look a bit younger than the design they used for the games, and definitely a lot more than the first movie design. This not only gives this take on Sonic its own identity, but also fits with Sonic's characterization in the film. He's a kid, and he definitely acts like it. I think it adds a lot to the character that would have been completely lost with the old design. Now, possibly the most important factor here is that they completely dropped the attempt at realism. This doesn't look like a creature that could exist in the real world, and they realized that was okay. Removing this restraint allowed them to make an insanely likable character design that's faithful to the games and just nice to look at. Heck, I'll even say this design is better than what they're using for the video games nowadays. I'm sure plenty of fans would burn me at the stake for that take, but I'm a sucker for modernized designs. This just looks nice. The question rises, who was responsible for this? Turns out I was right. Tyson Hesse was invited onto the movie to direct Sonic's redesign. He worked with the CGI team in a few different studios through making Sonic's new look, and the outcome was fantastic. Not much about the process of actually making it is known though. I for one would love to see a detailed documentary about the actual process of making the design from the artist's point of view. Maybe someday.
Oh yeah!